So we're going to talk about an element of journeys that we've not really talked about today. And it is two elements. So we talk a lot about, the trauma spiral, right? So we kind of go, we're really good at the beginning of life, right? And then trauma forces us down into a narrower existence, right? And then recovery, taking back what you had, recovery, not, or rediscovery, discovering what you already have. What it is not is we're not creating anything new that you don't already have. We're recovering. So if this is the trauma and neglect journey, you have all sorts of capacity when you're born, you're fresh, you're a fresh slate, and then stuff happens, intentional and unintentional, and you do stuff and other people, it leads you down to here, okay? And then by the end, you're kind of in a low point, you're very restricted, and you don't have a lot of options. Not many people come to Nam like, hey, I just thought I'd do a bit of self-development. I wish people would come like that. Most people, they come because they have to be here, their life's falling apart, or nothing's working and they're stuck. So that's what being stuck looks like, is you have very few options, you're in a low point. So what is the recovery journey? The recovery journey is kind of, the opposite. It's slowly a widening So if this is trauma and neglect going down, recovery is kind of that journey that's going up. And what is it? It is self-therapy. That's the term we use at NOM. Self-therapy is a daily practice where we connect to self, rediscover the self, build a relationship to the self, get comfortable being alone, get comfortable with your, who you are, if you, inner child, all these things, right? That's connect to self,
Connecting to others.
and then it's connect to others. And it's not just others, it's others with a purpose of either learning or teaching. People who have something to teach you, because on a journey you need teachers. There is no journey without teachers. I want to discover it on my own. Good luck. That's all I can say. Who was the first sailor who crossed the Europe and to come to North America? Anyone know who that was?
Was it Columbus? I don't know.
Hey, Columbus gets. I don't think it was Columbus, the first one. But let's say, for every Columbus, how many dead people are there that no one's going to remember? There's probably a few, right? Probably not one. There's probably a lot more that died trying to make it. Only one guy got his, or a couple of them, got their names in the history books. The rest of them died trying. So if you want to go your journey alone, just remember it's a treacherous journey and not many make it. So if you want to turn down help, that's on you. Good luck. Me, I'm a lazy guy. I'll take some help if I can get it. So you want to sort of reverse this small place that you've gotten to. You are doing connecting to self, meditating and all these things. You're connecting to others who have something to teach you. And if you have something and you're gaining something, you will also get students. You'll get people. They're not going to call you sensei. They're not going to call you teacher. They're just going to be like, hey, buddy, I want what you got. You seem really calm. Can you help me? Teach me a tool or something. And maybe you do, maybe you don't, but the teacher learns 10 times as much as the student. Connecting to others, that's what we mean. Not just connecting to the trauma family, not just I talked to my buddy. Yeah, but were you learning to advance your recovery, or were you teaching recovery? are you wasting time? Or were you building a bond? No problem with that. But remember, you're trying to ascend a spiral. This isn't going to happen naturally, right? This is going to happen with time. Time alone's not going to do it. Effort. Time and effort alone aren't going to do it. Consistency. That's what it's going to take to go up this mountain. And you can. And you will. And the third part of self-therapy is prayers. Or affirmations. Why is that there? Believe it or not, in the original form of self-therapy, years and years ago, prayer was there, but for some reason it disappeared, but it's back. And here's the reason. Because meditation, connecting to self, the sister practice of meditation is prayer. Meditation is listening to the signals from inside and out. Prayer and affirmations are projecting out for what you need. Why do we need to do that? Because we need to attract teachers. We need to attract circumstance. If you pray for patience, you need circumstances to test your patience. Careful about that prayer. It's a good one. Good to build patience. You need a lot of patience in this journey. A family of a person with addiction will often take 1 to 3 years after they've totally got recovery. And they're sober and they're good. 1 to 3 years after that, this is my experience, then the family is like, maybe they have changed. Right? Oh. Like, think about that, 1 to 3 years. But that's honestly what it takes. It's a long process. Because just like you have your journey, they have theirs. You going through your journey doesn't mean that they are going to join you on your journey up. They're going to do it on their time, on their, with their sort of array of stuff. And the addiction, mental health journey, whatever journey you're on, right? We're all on journeys. So we need patience. But let's say you pray for patience. Well, you need circumstances to build it. Any of you pass grade 7 math? Satmi ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਤੁਸੀਂ? Pass ਕੀਤੇ ਸੀ? Yeah. So, was there a test? There was, right? Anyone do grade 7 math without passing a test? You did?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe some places in the world where you can just pay some money and get through. Most places, though, you have to actually pass a test, right? No test means no certification. I've passed hundreds or thousands of tests to get it to becoming a doctor. Big tests, small tests, tests upon tests upon tests. Formal tests, informal tests, right? I was doing yoga and I was holding this position up in like 50 degrees desert in yoga for 62 minutes. We did this. That's a test. No one gave me an award for it. No, it was this. This was the posture or something like that. Anyways, it's hard to have your hands up that long and not move and not put them down for 62 minutes. You have to figure something out. You have to figure something out. Otherwise, you're just going to fall apart. Initially, the tests will come. Maybe you sign up for a course. Maybe it's done to you. Maybe to practice patience, you have to get into a car accident and deal with insurance companies. But the further up this recovery journey you go, the more you'll start to seek your own tests. You'll start to seek out your own vulnerabilities and weak points, and you'll want to expose them and you'll want to deal with them. We're talking about step 4, that's a bit of what that is. We've gone past the early points where we're forced to do stuff to we want to do stuff. So for that, you need to put a lot of signals into the universe to send you what you need. It may be books, it may be knowledge, it may be people, it may be places, maybe a new job. It may be a lot of things, and I don't know what it is. People's journey starts long before Nam, and it ends long after Nam. What you do before you come to Nam and what you do after, if you're here for a day program, or evening, or inpatient, or whatever, is far more important than what you learn in these 8 hours. If all you do is learn in these 8 hours, and you don't do anything after, or you don't do anything before you come here, what you're doing here is ineffective. Because you see, there's a journey to be moved through. So we're moving through a journey. That journey is self-therapy. It's tests. When you say affirmations, you say, universe, send me what I need today. Might be a test. Or it might be an opportunity to get ready for a test. And that's what I want to just touch on. Is there's 2 segments of a journey. Remember, don't believe anything I say. Just consider your experience. Journeys can be separated into 2 elements. Every leg of the journey has one of these 2 elements. And we're flipping in between. And these is readiness. Readiness. So preparation, training. Training to do what? To make use of opportunities. There's a saying, opportunities favors the ready. Opportunity favors the ready? No? Opportunist. Well, an opportunist is someone who's ready. So it's someone ready to take advantage of whatever situation. It's kind of got a negative connotation to it, but opportunists. Opportunity. So journeys need both of these things. I've seen people, this can also be called tests. At NOM we refer to these things often as tests. And the thing to understand is that you need both. So I'll give you an example. Someone, we did a development course called Discovery, and a bunch of people doing the same experience, immersive 5 days of digging deep, right? Some people gained a lot. I went in, I gained a ton. Other people went through the same process, had the same opportunities, same people willing to listen, same tools, same system. Hardly budged, didn't change much, didn't have much to say. Came back again, and actually many did not come back for the second phase of it. Expensive training, so. Or they may have come back at a delayed pace. But the thing is that opportunity was the seminar. Readiness is getting ready for the opportunity. It's training to go up Mount Everest. You have Mount Everest, right? How long does it take to climb Mount Everest?
3 days.
A couple of days? Yeah, it's like a couple of days, right? And you fly into base camp, spend maybe a week climatizing, and you get it done. You go up and down. A couple of days. How long do you spend training to go up Mount Everest? Years, right? So when I did Discovery, and I didn't want to do it, Prabjeet and Mindy, they sort of talked me into it because I knew what it would mean. But then I knew what it would mean. I knew that if I went in without any readiness, I'd do the 5 days, but I wouldn't let much come up. I have a ton of tools to just organize and allow me to function that like just keeps the stuff down. So what did I do? For 6 months, I readied myself for the experience. I trained myself. How did I do it? I used prayers. I daily said multiple prayers just to like ask God to give me the readiness to let the stuff come up so this opportunity could be utilized. That's literally the prayer that I said every day for several months. And what started happening? Stuff started coming up. Old memories started coming up. I started having conversations with my mom about some of the things. I started initiating some of the stuff so that it was top of mind, ready. And then when I checked into the training, I was ready to go. And because I was ready to go, opportunity favors the ready. So, readiness, check. But then a lot of people spend their whole life getting ready. They never test themselves. I've been doing all sorts of stuff, but I've never done a course like Discovery where I have to tell some of my deepest things. Never did that. And because I never did that, I've spent 20 years getting ready. But unless you take the plunge, you got to take the plunge. Got to do it. If you spend all your time doing your prayers and you're meditating and all this stuff, but you never actually take the opportunities that come, and they come often. Opportunities are all around us. They come often. So what do we have to do what do we do? We send signals to the universe. If you're not into religion and stuff, call them affirmations. If you are, call them prayers. Call them dua, call them ardas, call them whatever word you got for them. But it's the idea of setting an intention. That you get the readiness and you get the opportunities to the degree to which you are ready. When you're doing your self-therapy practice, what do you need to get ready? You need teachers. You need teachings. You need time to practice. You need tutors. You need books. You need courses. When I took my medical school exam, MCAT, the prep exam, I did a course. It was like this company, it wasn't Rennert, it was Kaplan. They're not paying me to advertise the services, but good course. Some people spend millions of dollars researching the test, and they create material. You study the material, you pass the test. So I had some opportunities, so I took the course. Did the prep, did good on the test, got into med school. I know other people who had the opportunity but were too cheap to spend the money. They could have spent the money, they didn't. They didn't do as good. They put themselves at a disadvantage. They say in Discovery, be committed to do whatever it takes to have what you want. The key being whatever the heck it takes, nail and tooth, and you're climbing up this spiral to save your life, literally. The only difference in addiction is it's quite literal. You will die, or you will be in jail, or you'll be somewhere where you don't want to be. Right? That's the only difference. Depressed people may be able to hang out over here because they're just depressed. The rest of them are not going to be very happy. They may well die miserably, but no one's going to send them to the hospital. The police aren't going to come. But the journey is the same. And with addiction, it's just deadly. So readiness and opportunity. Opportunity. This can happen in the course of your practice, right? It's holding this posture. I didn't have to. There are a whole bunch of other people there who were like, oh, this is so... One guy was like, this is so hard. He's like wailing loudly, and it's like, dude, you're at like a yoga conference for a bunch of yogis. Just like, you do your thing, man. I'm just gonna, put myself to the test. Didn't have to. No one's giving me a credit card or a score or something. I was testing myself. Can I do it? Done yoga for 15 years. Could I do it? Did it? Leveled up, right? That's a test. But it's not like I signed up for it. It just sort of came. You see, a lot of what you call misery, I call tests. A lot of what you call like difficult job situations, I call it a test. And I look at it as the opportunity that it is to level up. A lot of what you call the self-pity, oh, why me? I call it a test and an opportunity to level up. And I'm happy for it. Every time I get a test, yeah, maybe I have some pity party time, for sure. This is a mental attitude. An attitude of a winner. An attitude of someone who's gonna climb this mountain because his life depends. My life's no different than yours. My life depends on me climbing this mountain. Now I'm desperately doing my best. We all are. Somewhere on the mountain. And we don't know where we're at the mountain. I don't. But all I know is there's a mountain and it's to be climbed. And this is how you do it. Readiness and opportunities. So if you find yourself in a situation where it's like, oh my goodness, I can't do step 4, writing about, step 4 is where we do all that trauma work around to what we did to other people. Very critical trauma work. That is the trauma work that needs to be done early in recovery, because it is the thing that will keep you from doing anything deeper. The perpetration work, how we hurt others, is central to human development. Even if other people who'd hurt you don't own their part or whatever, this is just my realization as a trauma therapist. The perpetration work can help you heal the most, and it's also what you have control over. You have a lot of control over that. But it's hard work. So you're not ready for it. That's alright. Don't take the plunge if you're not ready for it. That's how people get into relapse. Center your prayers around readiness, getting ready for it. Center your affirmations around that. God, higher power, nature, universe, consciousness, whatever's out there, ready me for this next stage of my recovery. Whatever it is, you have a course coming up. You're going to be at NOM for day program, starting out. Start structuring it in your prayers. The universe will know. And what you'll find is you go a lot further. A lot of people, all their life, so like one of the reasons why Nam is formed is because I had a really curious situation where really religious people would also be doing bad things. And that's something that really puzzled me for a long time. The default is they're not really religious, they're just faking it. That's the default. Certainly that was my default understanding at the time, but it was puzzling as a trauma therapist. So what's going on? And what I've realized is it's a lot of people who are ready. So that readiness, if you have like 20 years of praying and meditating, it's not gone anywhere. But it remains potential energy until you make it real. And it's made real through action. You know, what would they say in AA?
Without works is dead.
Faith without works is dead, right? And that's what they mean. Faith without works opportunity is dead. So we have to take our meditation, our yoga, and all of these things we do to get ready. There's a million things, and we actually have to take action. And actually say sorry to your mom, or your dad, or do the resentment prayer with somebody, or, make good with something bad that you've done. These are actions. So make amends, opportunities. And there's some opportunities we're not ready yet. Then we can take an action like this. We can pray for readiness. We can talk to people about getting ready. Right? But we should be doing one or the other all the time. And as long as we are ascending. So long as we're doing it, we're moving up. And as soon as we stop doing it, we stop. So this is journeys. This is how we, and last thing, we started our meeting today with this, there's this affirmation. What's one point on your body? What's one point on my body I could tap on to help make my situation a little bit better? Take the first point that comes up and then start tapping on it. This tool, please do it. This tool, your body has such good intelligence. It has great intelligence. When you tap on a point, it'll oftentimes increase your readiness. Or maybe it'll unleash something for you to deal with in accordance with your state of readiness. That's how the body releases trauma. When you are more ready, it will release more of what you hold. If you're not ready, it will put it away. So a lot of times when we're meditating, stuff comes up in our head. How did this come up? I didn't want to think about that. Well, some part of you felt it was ready, and it was time. So use your tools. Keep using your tools, get through it. Focus. If it's tapping, keep tapping. Go to the next point. And trust that there is an invisible guidance that guides us through our journeys, because there is. Don't believe me, just test it. See if it's true. Reflect on the journey of your life long before you watch this video or you come to know, and long after you leave. Just reflect on it. Journeys. Readiness and opportunity. So we'll leave it today. Thank you. Forgive me if I misspeak.